2 people are dead in Monroe County following an argument that ended in a police chase. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Livingston. The Monroe County Sheriff's Department says Wayne McCallum shot and killed his brother-in-law Jesse Little on Thursday. McCallum then led police on a car chase from a home on Old Columbus Road to a house on McDuffie Cemetery Road, where it's believed that McCallum was shot and killed by a sheriff's deputy. The motive behind the first shooting is still unclear. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is currently investigating the second officer-related shooting. Wayne McCallum is a suspect in Thursday's shooting in Monroe County, but witnesses and close friends say the incident took place on Old Columbus Road was a result of McCallum's mental health state. They say they have been trying to get professional help for McCallum for months.
The last time I seen him, something in him had just, you know, it had finally snapped. And you could tell by the look in his eyes, you know, that was not my Wayne, you know. And never in a million years did I expect to get the call that I got that day.
Brandy Pennington said she was engaged to be married to Wayne McCallum. They've been together for a year now, but she knew he had issues with his mental health after almost a month of knowing him.
He was the sweetest man I ever knew. You know, we never argued. He never would argue with me. He woke me up every morning with "Good morning, beautiful," you know, with my coffee ready, you know, and he loved to go see the kids. He loved to go see them.
Pennington says she and Wayne had recently moved to Sulligent, Alabama from Florida, having to evacuate from Hurricane Michael.
Someone with mental illness, anything out of the norm just offsets you. You know, I mean, it just changes everything.
Noticing the change in behavior, she said she tried to seek professional mental help for Wayne.
Because of the laws that we have, it was so hard for me to get any help done, and I think that should change.
Pennington says state laws prevent anyone who's not considered immediate family from admitting someone for psychiatric evaluation.
If you're in a relationship with someone like that, you know, and you live together every day, you know, they should have a say-so in it, you know. I really do, or at least to get them evaluated.
And although the last 2 days have been emotional for Pennington and her family, she said she's thankful for one thing.
I'm so thankful that our last words to each other were that we loved each other. You know, because a lot of people don't get that, and I'm just thankful that we did.
Cash Matlock, WCBI News.
Pennington says she hopes to share Wayne's story with people and hopefully spread more awareness on the effects of mental illness. 26 people are recovering after a tour bus crashed off the interstate Friday afternoon just across the Mississippi state line. Tristan Rupert brings us to the scene of the accident with details.
The crash occurred at approximately 1:25 Friday afternoon. The group was traveling from New Orleans to Biloxi to visit Harrah's Gulf Coast. However, once they crossed the Louisiana-Mississippi border, disaster struck.
These are the tracks the tour bus made as it careened off the road through that sign before it came to rest up against the forestry. So, of course, several agencies had to respond to this call, and Chase Elkins of MHP was highly satisfied with the result.
Within 30 to 45 minutes, we had at least one lane open, which is a big deal with the 2 helicopters that had to come in, the multiple ambulances, the fire services, all the other law enforcement agencies that came in to assist. To get even one lane open here is a big deal.
And James Carver of American Medical Response also commended several agencies on their efforts.
Slidell Fire was over here. We had West Hancock Fire here, American Medical Response, the EMA Deputy Director, John Albert, he showed up today. We had a great working relationship with all these individuals.
And those relationships came in handy as the collaborative effort had to first remove the group from the bus and then treat them how they could on the scene, even utilizing the sign the bus destroyed as a bench. After receiving treatment on site, all 25 passengers and the bus driver were transported to local hospitals. One was airlifted to New Orleans, another to Mobile. At this time, the Mississippi Highway Patrol is still investigating the crash. Reporting in Hancock County, Tristan Rupert, WLOX News Now.
We're told many of the passengers had just minor injuries and have already been released from the hospital. It's now time to turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Dickey for a first look at our forecast. Jacob?
Hey Riley, what a nice day we had today. Lots of sunshine out there. Got to enjoy a perfect Saturday. It has been some time since we've had that. Temperatures this evening have fallen into the 40s out there. It's 41 in Starkville, 48 at the airport, 42 over in Winona. It's showing a clear sky, but we actually have some very high cirrus clouds that are hard to detect from the sensors at the surface. We can see on satellite and radar, though, the band of that coming from the south, lifting on into our area. Those clouds will help to keep some patchy frost in the forecast for some of us, not all of us, though. Quiet weather is ahead. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. Riley?
Thanks, Jacob. This month marks the 10th anniversary of a historic civil rights event in Tupelo. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
It was 10 years ago, in March of 2009, that the Coalition for Change erected this civil rights monument on the grounds of the Lee County Courthouse. Every year, Meet Me at the Monument is celebrated to honor the work and sacrifice it took to make this monument a reality. It remains the only civil rights monument sitting on government property in the state.
It's one of the things that we figure that everybody in the community can do together, that we really kind of celebrate one common spirit, and we've got some common goals here that we just kind of stand for.
And community activist James Hall says the monument is about the people.
All these people come from different walks of life. They come from every, basically creed. I mean, there are several different religions out here. But we all believe in human justice, human rights. We all believe in civil rights, and we are just grateful that it all worked out together.
District 16 State Senator Angela Turner Ford was the guest speaker.
This is a culmination of a fundraising project, people who are interested in preserving our heritage as African Americans. And this monument has been in place for 10 years. I think it's awesome to celebrate.
The Coalition for Change erected this monument at the corner of Jefferson Street and Spring Street as a response to all of the Confederate monuments that have been erected around the South.
You cannot erase history. I don't even want to get into that debate. What I'm saying is this is an answer to Confederate monuments. This is what we choose to say about Confederate monuments.
Yes, it shows that we have other aspects of our history. It's not just about Confederate monuments. We have also African Americans who were engaged in the struggle and contributed to the gains in our country.
Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
The group says this monument is dedicated to Lee County citizens who fought for civil rights and voting rights during the turbulent civil rights movement period between the mid-1950s and late 1970s. Art lovers from across the area came together today to expand their horizons. More on that coming up next. Welcome back. When you think art, paint and a paintbrush are some of the first things that come to mind. However, the City of Tupelo's Link Center puts a wider variety on that. Our Stephanie Poole found out what hidden art lies in Tupelo.
The words "all are welcome" is a distinct phrase to describe the types of art displayed each year at the Link Festival. With the Link Center being a hub in the population of Tupelo, it creates a greater opportunity for breakout artists to gain some new fans.
This year, or the last couple of years, we wanted to bring it a little bit more back home to Link Center and center it back on what we do here at Link Center, which is performing arts, social engagement, connecting the community to great resources.
From songwriting to cross-stitch, even down to puppy yoga, these are some of the 10 workshops that took place. Montez says this year's turnout has been the best so far.
This year has already been such a success. Puppy yoga had 45 people in it, and cooking as a first language was capped out, as many people as could fit in it. And everywhere, the magic show was a big hit with kids and families all over the place.
Food trucks from local restaurants delivered plates to all that wanted a taste of something new. From paintings to jewelry and even a few homemade items, this festival helped promote the hidden artistry in the city.
Well, I hope it just gives them some exposure, some new fans, some new people that are interested in their work. And if we can be that space that brings artists and entrepreneurs and fans and families and everybody who enjoys all of that kind of social betterment, that this is the place to do it.
Reporting in Lee County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Montez says the festival isn't the only thing taking place at the Link Center. Events such as music and concerts are scheduled each month.
First Saturday in quite some time for us that we have a quiet view of our satellite and radar this time of night. Just some high cirrus clouds moving on, and great news really for the entire country. High pressure in control, not much going on out there. Coming up after the break, I'll let you know if that changes and if we expect any rain in the next set of days. Stay with us.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
What a beautiful day we've had this evening, staying nice and quiet there on our Alpha Insurance Skycam network. Great weather today and tonight. Temperatures have fallen to be maybe a little chilly for some of us. We are seeing 40s across the board, except for Amory down to 39. It's 43 in Columbus, West Point at 48, 42 in Calhoun City. I expect those temperatures to continue to drop, but some clouds have come on in. That's going to switch things up just a little bit for us here. This light band of high clouds, think of it like a bit of a blanket that's coming over us here. So it does affect our lows, but it also gave us a really nice sunset tonight. A lot of great photos coming in on social media. This one from Linda Ritchie in Louisville. The beautiful colors of the sun underneath that band of cirrus clouds up high. And then after the newscast, go out and look at the moon. A lot of you are asking questions on social media. What is that? See that big old ring around there? It's a moon halo. Ice crystals high in the atmosphere are refracting some of that light and giving us that nice ring. Really neat to see. Thanks for all the photos. And, of course, you can keep sending us photos on social media. Temperatures tonight are looking a little warmer than we thought because of that band of clouds. That blanket comes into place and keeps things a little warmer. So mid-30s is about where we'll be. Some patchy frost if we can get things a little bit lower, but not as big of a concern as it was last night. On Sunday, then, temperatures warming into the mid-60s out there. Look for a north wind between 5 and 10 miles an hour. 64 in Macon, Columbus, 63 in Starkville and in Eupora, West Alabama. Beautiful day for you. 65 in Vernon, 64 in Solent. Hamilton also checking in at 64. And great weather up north, too. Tupelo, 63. Fulton also at 63. Iuka at 61. We'll be at 62 in Calhoun City and in Bruce. As we look at Futurecast here, thanks to this high pressure off to our west, we stay in a nice quiet pattern for the next couple of days. It helps to deflect some systems away to our north and to our south. Nothing of concern around for us. In fact, over the next 7 days, rainfall amounts essentially at 0 for us. We may see an isolated stray shower as we look forward, but no major rain or storms are expected. We could use maybe a little shower here to some of the allergies. Look at this, allergy forecast extreme over the next 5 days. You can thank the cedar and the pine trees for that. Tonight, temperatures in the mid-30s, a little bit of frost is possible thanks to some high, thin clouds. As we look at the next 7 days, about the best we can get, aside from a stray shower Thursday morning, great weather all the way through the weekend.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Mississippi State with 13 consecutive wins so far and 2 games in the series against Florida looking to keep it going. So much action in Game 2. Let's get right to the diamond for the highlights. The Bulldogs in Gainesville for opening weekend looking for a Game 2 win against the Gators. And what a way to start things off. Jake Mangum with the lead-off home run to get it going for the Diamond Dogs early in the day. Mississippi State clamping down on the Gators for an early 1-0 lead. Top of the 4th, Tanner Allen at the plate drives the ball right over the right center wall. That thing is going to be right out of here. And Allen with the second homer of the day to take a 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Head to the top of the 5th, Mangum goes right up the middle. And Gunnar Halter are going to be able to get on home for a 3-0 lead over the Gators. Top of the 6th, no score Gators. Hatcher pops one up to left center. It's going to be an RBI single. Drives in Justin Foscue to make it 5-0. Top of the 7th, runner on third. Foscue again drives it down the third baseline, and Westberg comes in to score to take a 6-run lead. Top of the 9th, Florida with 3 runs. Not for long. 2 runners on, a hit out to left, and another Gator error brings in 2 more runs for the Diamond Dogs. Mississippi State goes up 10-4 in the top of the 9th inning. And that would pretty much do it. Mississippi State takes the outright series win with the Game 2 win over Florida, the final 10-5, and the 3rd straight series win over the Gators for Mississippi State, the 14th consecutive win for the Bulldogs. Game 2 in Oxford, Alabama and Ole Miss working on a 3-game series. Bottom of the 2nd, Ole Miss down 2. Gray Kessinger singles up the left side, and Cooper Johnson rounds 3rd. Comes on home for the Rebels' first run of the afternoon. Strap in for this inning, folks. Anthony Servideo smacks one up the right field. The Tide won't be able to make it in time, and Jacob Adams comes in for the score to tie the game up at 2. Still in the bottom of the 2nd, runner in scoring position. Tyler Keenan sends it up the right middle. An RBI single for Keenan will be the leading run for Kessinger. It's a 3-2 Rebel lead. 2nd inning still not over. A wild pitch from Alabama brings in Servideo for another Rebel run. It'd be a 4-2 lead for Ole Miss. 2 outs, a runner on 3rd. Ryan Olenek hits one right out to left field, and Thomas Dillard makes it home for the score. Bottom of the 4th, Ole Miss down by 1. A critical mistake for Alabama, and with Rockets on his feet. Servideo gonna come in for the tying run. Look at the man go. Ole Miss and Alabama now tied at 6-all. But the Rebels couldn't take the lead back from there. Game 2 would belong to the Crimson Tide. 8-6 is going to be your final. The series tied up at 1 with the deciding game tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Well, it was a tough matchup between the Bulldogs and the Volunteers last night. Hear from the team next in sports. Stick with us. Welcome back. Mississippi State taking on Tennessee in the quarterfinals of the SEC men's basketball tournament last night. An extremely hard-fought game on both ends, and Mississippi State was doing almost everything right. Tennessee was just doing about everything right. The Bulldogs were doing, but just a little bit better. And eventually the Volunteers getting the big win over the Bulldogs last night, the final 83-76. The Bulldogs still remaining optimistic on what's ahead of the program.
I mean, when we arrived at Mississippi State, it was coming off some pretty tough years consecutively, and to start, and that first year was really tough, and we have gotten improved every year during their 4 years and our 4 years together, and so proud of those two seniors, the leadership they provided, the improvements they've made in their games, but leading these others. And really setting this year up.
When me and Q first came here, we came here our goal was to change the program and get it back on top to where it needed to be. And I feel like we accomplished that goal.
Well, let's look ahead to Selection Sunday and Monday. The selection committee for the NCAA tournament will be making their picks for who gets to compete in the big dance tomorrow. Go figure, Selection Sunday for a reason. The Ole Miss men will be hosting a selection show on Sunday at the Pavilion. Admission is going to be free for those interested in attending. If the Rebels are selected, it will be the program's first trip back to the big dance since 2015. The Bulldog women also hosting a show on Monday. The show begins at 5:45, and the Mississippi State men have yet to announce anything. I'm not sure that they will. We'll be sure to keep you updated if things change, but if not, you can always tune in to WCBI Sports tomorrow. We'll have everything for you, as well as where we will be seeing our teams going. That's it for sports. The last look at your forecast is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
WCBI sports coverage of the SEC basketball tournament is brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Bank first, a better way to bank. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Well, not only did we get storms last week, but up in Nebraska, this is some photos that came in today. This is a dam in Spencer, Nebraska, before the rains, after the rain and snow melt.
Wow.
Catastrophic damage there. You've probably heard some of that online on social media. I've got information. 60,000 people are evacuated because of that here, and that's a lot of west of Omaha. Eventually, that water will make it down into the Mississippi River. Here, though, we're dry. No concerns for flooding. Great weather this week. Get out and enjoy it tomorrow.
Yes, definitely do that, and come join us back here tomorrow.